Clothing brands right now are printing, and I want to cover the three main reasons from the perspective of someone who's doing millions of dollars with their own clothing brands. And just to give you perspective on what printing means, you can see one of our brands did about $1 million. I'll refresh so you know it's not fake. And our agency runs ads for just about 50 other brands that are doing numbers just like this. I'm not going to sell you anything in this video. It's just going to be free sauce. But if you do want to apply to work with our agency to have us run your clothing brand ads, you can apply for that link in the description. But the first main reason, and let's talk about some of these reasons. Number one, the biggest, most important reason is supply and demand. This is the number one most important reason. And I'm going to go in depth with all these three here in a second. But supply and demand is the number one most important fundamental business curve. We're going to talk a lot more about that. The second one, right? MRR. So monthly reoccurring revenue. Very important. Again, the biggest thing that private equity firms are looking for, looking to buy businesses for millions, if not billions of dollars. Like I said, printing. And the third one is the exit. That's the acquisition. Three things that most business models cannot say that they have. Things like SaaS companies, things like all these other companies that are just being wiped out with AI. Again, clothing is one of those things. Again, that's an evergreen solution. And let's go into the three main reasons. And from my perspective, why, again, these are honestly one of the best businesses to start. Number one, proprietary products. So we talked about that supply and demand fulcrum here. Okay. How much supply you have of something versus the demand. I've been personally thinking that tech wave is on. It's this bubble that's about to pop. Right now with AI, we're seeing the supply and demand thing be overrun with apps like Base 44 that can go in and build any kind of software that you want to in a matter of seconds, right? And all these other AIs, ChatGPT, that can do literally anything you want. So why would I go out in there and pay for something that, can be done? That's how you have a ton of competitors, of people who just, again, are competing with you and you don't have anything unique to serve. But when you control all the supply, then you can artificially create the demand, right? With clothing, since we control the supply, we have higher margins, right? We can pick the price because when they're buying a product for us, for instance, let's look at the running shoe Brooks here. When someone's buying one of these Brooks shoes, they go buy from Brooks, right? They control all the supply. Even though there is other running shoes out there that are similar, people love clothing brands. They love getting married to one brand. For instance, you can probably name your top three clothing brands right now: Nike, Adidas, whatever, right? And when you want to buy an article of clothing, those are the first brands that come to your mind. You don't go out and just shop and buy everything. You have a level of loyalty to your brands. People show a level of loyalty to these brands because they know they work. They don't know if other running shoes work. So because they have that level of loyalty, again, they can establish that demand, control the supply, which builds the demand. They can charge higher margins and no one else can go buy them from anywhere else. Unlike a SaaS company where they can make a really cool tech product and then an AI can rip them off in a matter of seconds or a matter of a couple of days. And now they no longer have a product that's valuable at all, right? Or a supplement. Someone could just copy their formula, do the same thing. With clothing, since it's so focused on branding, you get the point. You get a lot of proprietary product, right? A lot of supply demand. The second most important thing is MRR here. Okay. This is what I like to call the business killer. If you're a small business that isn't generating MRR, your days are numbered, right? Most small businesses are always trying to find new customers consistently. And this is what they think that pattern looks like. In reality, that pattern looks like this. You start finding new customers and then you kind of plateau on the level of new customers that you can find per month. Right? And to get to the next level, this is all your reoccurring customers. It's getting customers to stay around. In all actuality, most of the biggest businesses that I know personally are all running off of MRR. That's why they're profitable, right? And again, why you're building MRR is, again, that customer loyalty, right? Everyone needs clothes. It's one thing that will never go away. Just like real estate, one of those things that will never go away no matter what happens, right? The entire world can shut down today. People will still be buying clothes. People need to dress themselves, right? So when you have brands like this that are selling one of a unique kind, like for instance, let's say these kids shorts right here, I cannot find these anywhere else. Even if someone's selling a cheap knockoff, it's not the same brand. I don't have that brand loyalty with that other brand. I want to buy it from this brand. And it creates that level of MRR. So every single time they drop a collection for any other product, people are wanting to consistently buy those products. Again, having that MRR lets you have consistent months. You don't have to worry about finding new customers. You build a fan base, again, that's only shopping with you, right? That means you can go take a vacation to Bora Bora with your brand new freaking brand, not running any ads, and still make money. Unlike other businesses, if they stop running ads for even a month or 2 months, their business is down the drain because they only rely on new customers. Again, like I said, it's the slow, you don't have MRR, count your days in business. It's the slow killer of businesses. Now, the most important thing, everyone talks about it, the big exit. A lot of companies do not have the ability to be able to sell or even exit their brand. You have to think, who are the people who are buying companies, right? Private acquisition, venture capitalists, what are they looking for? They're looking for these same things that clothing brands have. They're looking for something that's not easily replicable, because why would I spend 50 million or $1 billion on something that can get copied, tomorrow? They're looking for something that's proprietary, that is not easily rip-offable, something that has consistent MRR that they can build a system into. They don't want to buy a job. They want to buy a system that prints money. Okay. Clothing brand has both of these huge things that, again, these people who are spending billions of dollars on clothing companies are looking for, right? This is how brands like Supreme sold for back in a few years ago for $1.5 billion in cash, right? The founder founded this brand and later sold it, was a million, almost billionaire by selling the brand. Everyone knows Supreme, right? And he sold a majority stake of his brand. Or you can look like people like Ben Francis here, who owns a portion of Gymshark. He didn't even sell his entire brand, right? He sold a portion of his brand, right? I believe it was less than a fourth of his brand, and got over $300 billion for the brand, right? You can see, again, so much money and he still owns the majority of the brand. I mean, like, he owns 70% of the brand, sold a portion of it and got $300 million, I'm sorry. That's money that you can retire on and you still own the brand. That's not things that other SaaS companies, other supplement companies, many other drop shipping models, it's not stuff that they can say quite often, right? That's why clothing, again, is one of those things that's printing, right? And if you're not starting a clothing brand, I highly recommend it. If you want to start a clothing brand, I would recommend working with our agency. We can help you start up, get going, start printing, help you build your designs, help you build out the website, and most importantly, help you run some ads. If you're interested in working with us, you can go apply for that link down in the description. But even if you don't, I guarantee you, start a clothing brand tomorrow. You'll thank me later. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.